2024 was a big year for horror movies, so I decided that I think I would just rank them all in this video. Well, 2025 is here and 2024 is over, so I'm just going to rank all the horror movies released in 2024 right here in this video. Okay. So first off, we have Alien Romulus, which I have not watched before, which is fine. I guess I have not seen most of these, so expect me to just put most of these in the I didn't see area because I didn't watch them. Turn off. Next up, I have I saw the TV Glow. Okay, oh my god, this movie. I don't know how to even start with this. I saw the TV Glow. It's a very purple movie, so if you do not like the color purple, you legally are not allowed to watch this movie. And the movie is so messed up. It's such a simple premise, but A24 manages to stretch it all out into the most disturbing thing ever. And some shots are just one shot, and they're so eerie and creepy, and just the television show in the movie is just so oh my god, it's just so creepy and terrifying in a very way that I just can't explain. Because of all that, this movie is definitely an A tier. Would be A. It's not perfect, but it's A24, and it's just beautiful to watch, and that's why it's going in A tier. Now, Blink Twice, I haven't watched. Hold on, I'm just gonna get all of the I haven't watched movies out of the way. Hold on. I'm getting all of you out of the way so I can actually just talk about the movies that I have watched and I want to talk about. Okay, hold on. Okay, there's every single one of them. I thought I watched a lot of movies this year, but I obviously have not. Oh my god. Do I really have to talk about this movie? I do not feel like talking about this movie right now. Do I really have to? I guess I do. It's What's Inside is so utterly confusing. If you don't pay attention most of the time to movies, then you cannot watch this movie. It's so confusing. Everything's just so mishmash. Because, it's not even a horror movie. There's nothing scary about it. It's just a comedy. A psychological comedy. That should be a genre. Because, this movie fits that genre perfectly, and oh my god, someone kill me. I had to turn this movie off only 2/3 into it because it was so confusing. I could not handle it. How this movie wins so many awards? I'm confused. This movie has some redeeming elements like the acting, but other than that, it's just I wouldn't put it in E, but actually okay, I'm putting it in E. Yeah, it's just I can't because it's so confusing. It just makes it a very bad movie and an unenjoyable movie. Next, I have Nosferatu. Service. Try saying that 10 times fast. It's not possible. Nosferatu. Okay, this movie is pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be real here. This entire movie just reminds me of that one part from the song Heartbeat.
You start calling, you start crying, I come over, I'm inside you, I can't find you, the girl that I once had, but the sex that we have isn't half bad, text say that it's not.
Go listen to the full song, but yeah, this movie is actually kind of great. Like, yeah, the pacing's kind of slow, but like that doesn't really hurt the movie in any way. And like the opening scene is like the scariest bit in the whole movie, and the rest of the movie just does not compare to that one scene. And there are two exact scenes in this movie that had me sitting down and being like, what the hell am I actually watching? If you know, you know. Like, if you've seen the movie, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The ending, like, if you've seen the movie, you know exactly what I'm talking about, okay? Just watch the movie. You'll know what I'm talking about. This movie honestly kind of nails the horror element, and this movie is actually kind of brilliant. I'm gonna be real here. It's actually really good. Imaginary isn't a terrible movie. I went to see this in the cinema, and I don't know if it was just because I went to see it in the cinema, but this movie is not terrible. It's not as bad as everyone says it is, but okay, it's kind of bad. Like, it's not terrible. I thought it was enjoyable. It can be a little boring, but I just see it as like building up to like the final acts. Because like the first two acts, they're literally just setting up everything. That's just setting up the scavenger hunt, Chauncey, and just the imaginary bit of it. And then the third act is like the movie, technically, but like it's a little creepy, but like I can see why everyone kind of hates it. This was not the year for Blumhouse horror movies, to be honest. And that's why this movie is going in C tier. It's not terrible, but it is a little bit, kind of bad a little bit, so that's why it's gonna go in C tier. But it's not horrendous. It's not the baddest thing I've ever seen. We got the sequel to Beetlejuice called Beetlejuice. Is it better than the original? No, it is not. You can't beat the original, but like, let me just talk about this for a minute. The number one redeeming quality of this movie for me is that Beetlejuice is in it way more, because in the first movie, he was only in for like 15 minutes, and that was like literally it. But this movie, like, he gets like a full runtime. He's not just in the model. But like, this movie, like, almost lives up to the original. Like, it doesn't, but like, it's almost there. And I really love what they did with like Astrid, and just like how it just expanded this universe way more. Just actually having Beetlejuice just not in the model for once, and just have him going around the afterlife is kind of awesome. We didn't see that a lot in the first movie, so that was really cool to see in the cinema in the second movie. But yeah, this movie is just a really fun, cozy horror movie. So that is why I'm putting Beetlejuice in. Where am I putting Beetlejuice? I'm gonna put it in B tier. Is that too low? No. I'm putting in A tier. Hold on, I'm moving. I saw the TV glow down. There we go. Yeah, that looks right. That looks right. This movie, I swear to God, Big Sister, if you're watching this, it's your fault why I'm not a massive fan of nuns now. Like, this movie, like, my sister put on this movie one time and I hated her for 2 days, but this movie, now that I think of it, is the perfect, like, holy horror movie ever to exist. Okay, so remember when I said it was the most, like brilliant and best holy horror movie ever to exist? Okay, I was lying. It is not. It is pretty far from, like, a very perfect movie, but God, Sydney Sweeney is just brilliant in this movie. And oh my lord, the final hour of this movie is just absolutely traumatizing. Absolutely just what the hell am I watching? Sydney Sweeney should really just consider becoming a scream queen instead of just being in just some random shit all the time, because she literally carried this movie. She carried about 80% of this movie on her back, and it was absolutely fantastic, even though it is far, really far from just perfect, but Sydney Sweeney saved this girl. So this movie, its plan was to make people traumatized and be a scary, holy horror movie, and that's why I'm putting in B tier. It nails the holy horror elements, but then there's just bits that are kind of what, and they're just kind of random, and it's just absolutely what the hell. I do have to talk about Afraid, don't I? I have to, don't I? Yeah, I do. Another Blumhouse horror movie gone wrong this year. God help us. Blumhouse, are you making Imaginary and Afraid as a joke? Is this a joke? Or is this actually serious? I mean, Imaginary, I could see what it was going for, but this movie, it's ripping off, Blumhouse is ripping off Blumhouse, because they made Megan back in 2023, and then this is just a rip-off of it. Blumhouse is ripping off Blumhouse. They're doing that now. Okay, this movie isn't really that scary. It's not special. The acting's not really good. The concept is fine. I just want to stop talking about this movie. This movie is not on the level of It's What's Inside. Bad. It's right above it. Afraid goes in D. E is just dedicated for absolutely horrendous movies, and Afraid is not a horrendous movie. It's just bad. Just a bad movie. Let's just move on. Okay. Lisa Frankenstein is actually amazing. It is absolutely beautiful. Katherine Newton, just, I love it. I could ramble on for ages about how Lisa Frankenstein is the best comedy, horror, romance movie ever. Literally ever. I watched this movie on an airplane, and oh my god, I love it. There's so much, just so many things that are good about this movie. It's funny, it's a little bit spooky at times. It's so cool. The 80s kind of style is just so cool. It fits perfectly into the genre. It's just, I love it. Someone just I don't know, but do something. Give this movie an award for best movie of the year. Please, 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 please. This movie needs it. It needs that. The characters can be a little likable. I can ramble on for ages about how much I like this movie. This movie is immediately our first S tier. It's so good. It's just so funny. It can be a little scary at times. It's just so goofy. So it just deserves to go in S tier. I want to watch that movie again. I am planning to make a whole video dedicated to this movie. So I'm not going to ramble on too much because it's actually... I bet the filmmakers are literally like, hey, how about we make the Strangers 2008 film again, but with different actors and just shittier. That is exactly what they did. They made their dreams come true, I guess, and they made a bad film, and oh my god, the best thing about this movie is just the acting. That is the best thing about this movie, and that it made me jump once. That was the only time. Oh my god, Lionsgate. Now, like I said, E is reserved for the horrible movies. Is The Strangers Chapter 1 horrible? No? No, I'm tempted to put it down in E. I think I'm going to put it in front of It's What's Inside. No, I'm just going to keep it at the end of D because it's actually, the characters are so dumb and it's so irritating. I hate it so much, but I don't know, I kind of liked it. Alright. Next up we have Taro. I can see why everyone kind of hates this movie, but like... oh my god. This movie is actually kind of entertaining. Like making a horror movie about tarot cards and how people die based on their horoscope. That's kind of cool. Was executed well. I mean, depends on how you look at it. As a PG-13 horror movie, the kills are very creative for what they were allowed to do. Like, PG-13 horror is kind of, I see it as like its own genre right now, to be honest. And it really succeeds in, like, the slasher element. But, like, I don't know, really. It's just, it's a fun movie. Okay, I think I'm gonna put Taro in C. It is kind of bad, but it's actually, like, it's more entertaining than Imaginary, so I'm gonna put it here. It nails the horror elements pretty well for, like, a PG-13 slasher film. But, like, other than that, yeah. Okay, the one I've been waiting this entire time to talk about is Heretic. Oh my god, I adore this movie. This movie is 100% the best movie of the year, alongside with Lisa Frankenstein. I absolutely love this movie. It's just so creepy. It's so unsettling. A horror movie that has actually made me cry. This is the only movie, like, horror that has actually made me cry in the cinema, and that has actually made me scream at the top of my lungs. Like, for a movie to do that to me is just absolutely, it's so hard for a movie to do that to me. And the way it plays with religion is so, like, oh my god, this movie knows more about religion than I do. And I'm not a really religious person, but this movie taught me a lot about religion while also creeping the shit out of me. And I absolutely love it. Hugh Grant is brilliant. Sophie Thatcher, I love her. I love watching everything she is in. Sophie Thatcher, I love you so much. Girl. I mean, Chloe East and Sophie Thatcher, like, for me, like, literally are my two favorite, like, actresses right now. More so Sophie Thatcher, but oh my god, this movie is absolutely amazing, fantastic. Okay. How did you get here? Okay. I love Heretic so much. It's going in front of Lisa Frankenstein. Those two are my favorite horror movies of last year. Okay? I love it. Okay, I'm kind of running out of time here, so I'm just gonna skip through these. Quiet Place Day 1. So, A Quiet Place Day 1 is not a. It's the. I watched this movie before I saw the first two Quiet Place movies, and this alone was pretty. It was pretty decent, so I'm going to put this in B tier. Time Cut is just Netflix's ripoff of Totally Killer. That one Blumhouse movie, yeah. It's not that good, but I'm gonna put at the end of C. Smile 2, I'm going to be honest here, is actually Oscar worthy. Someone give, like, Naomi Scott an award. She was probably tired out of her mind after filming that movie, after all the screaming she did in it. And oh my god, she was amazing. S tier. S tier. Salem's Lot was a little bit scary. It's your typical vampire movie, but with a little twist. He kills kids very graphically. And it wasn't my exact thing. I enjoyed it, so it's gonna go in B. It was enjoyable. It was fun. Abigail was also really, really enjoyable. I really loved the girl. What's her name? I can't remember her name, but like the actress, the little actress who played Abigail was absolutely amazing. That girl, oh my god. But at the end, it just got a little not my thing with all like the Catherine Newton shit and stuff. So that's why I'm gonna put it at the very end of B. So yeah. So this is my tier list of horror films that came out in 2024. And the largest one was I didn't see. That's just fine. So I thought I saw a lot of movies that came out, but I obviously didn't. But yeah. Yeah. Those three movies, Heretic, Lisa Frankenstein, and Smile 2. I wish I spent more time talking about Smile 2. I really wish I did because I could have just talked about it for ages, like Lisa Frankenstein. I love it. I just love every single one of these movies except for It's What's Inside. That's just a bad movie. And with Afraid is kind of a bad movie, but actually, hold on. There we go. That's better. Okay. Yeah, that's my final ranking. Tell me what you would rank these in the comments because, I mean, like, this is just my opinion. Everyone has their own opinion, but anyway, goodbye. And I hope 2025 is a good year for movies and just the world in general.